and said, "I hope you don't mind me saying, Jim, but your book changed my life." I don't think you can have a better introduction than that.
I'm Jim Steele, and I would consider myself to be a performance consultant and a conference speaker. In fact, I'd probably add in the word holistic, because I think that brings in this combination of performance and well-being, which is fundamentally what I think about a lot and what I work with my clients on a lot. My market typically is high potentials. Typically they'll be in a leadership role, a managerial role, they'll have responsibility, they'll have pressure.
That's not helping me. I know be positive. I want to be positive, but how do you do it? How do you switch it on? I mean, do you ever get those days when you think, I've earned this depression and I'm going to have it, frankly? If he'd said to me, Jim, here's what you do. Do this, this, and this. Do these three things in this order. You're going to feel so focused, you're going to want to make the call. That's what I wanted. I wanted a process, a strategy, not a strapline. So that's what this session's about. There's something tangible in this, but it's quite an abstract concept. So we've got to know how to break it down. So let's take a look at three things: better, smarter, stronger.
Put up your right arm as high as you can get it, just so I can see what your best performance is in terms of human potential.
Be better is trying to unpack this. It's almost cliche to say, how do I tap into my potential? What even is that?
High as you can, just keep it up there. Okay, now ready, bit more. So where'd that come from? What's that? That's my best, Jim. That's my highest, I promise you. I go a bit more and you go, what, that bit?
But be smart is tapping into mindset. So, we often hear that we need to change our mindset, but, well, okay, give me the process for that one, right? I want some strategies for how to do that. So we really dive into things like tapping into flow states, this sort of high performance state of mind where we feel and perform at our best. And then be stronger. I suppose resilience builds into that, but also energy. How do I fuel myself in such a way that, we can take on the challenge, either the challenge put on us or the challenge we set ourselves with our aspirations. And so I really want to work out how to almost raise our threshold for stress so that, what once seemed like a lot just seems a lot more manageable.
Enables them to do these things, other than skill, other than capability, is this ability to access this resourcefulness in the most intense circumstances. And I wanted to know what that was. I've picked quite a sizable topic, becoming superhuman, right? And we got 30 minutes. But your challenge, I suppose, is just to test some of the observations. I've got some data. I've got some things that I've observed that seem to be relevant.
But in order to provoke people to harness their inner power and achieve their greatest professional and personal goals, there has to be some provocation in there. It's not just a passive experience.
The autonomic nervous system just shifting us to fight or flight in the moment, heightens the awareness, gets us ready, and that's fine. That works perfectly well. But you can't live in that state. It's too intense. It's overwhelming. It'll bring you down. Too much cortisol, too much adrenaline. We got to shift from that state through the emotional brain into the frontal cortex very quickly. Then you're in the situation, you're on top of it, you're mindful, you're aware, you can make choices, decisions. You're no longer in fight or flight mode. But the relevance is whether it's relevant to you, whether you can see it being useful. So everything that I say, we're going to test, and we're going to judge purely by results.